Aloha mai kako, a komo mai curtain call, a weekly program of reviews, previews, interviews, and features of and or with the great art and artists on Maui and beyond. I'm Paul James Brown. Pro Arts and MAPA aren't opening their shows Kimberly Akimbo and Birthday Candles until while I'm away and the first weekend of October when I return, respectively. All the gallery shows have been reviewed, so I thought, what's at the movies? And apart from the usual mayhem, horror, and so-called action films, I was delighted to find Kenneth Branagh's latest take on Hercule Poirot's story, A Haunting in Venice. It is an adaptation of Agatha Christie's Halloween Party by Michael Green. If you have read the Christie story, don't worry, you haven't seen the film. The story Ms. Christie wrote bears only a fleeting resemblance to Mr. Green's adaptation. The story takes place in Venice. Hercule Poirot, Kenneth Branagh, has retired, but he is besieged by families of victims who want his unparalleled detective services. He has hired a former police officer, Vitalio Portafoglio, Riccardo Scarmazzo, to keep them at bay. When he hears knocking at the door, he opens it to find Ariadne Oliver, an American mystery writer who apparently is responsible for spreading the exceptional crime-solving abilities of Monsieur Poirot through her writing, played by an almost unrecognizable Tina Fey. She wants Poirot to come to a seance after a children's Halloween party at Rowena Drake's, Kelly Riley, a former opera singer's palazzo. Her daughter committed suicide, and they intend to contact her through a renowned medium, Joyce Reynolds, Michelle Yeoh. Poirot, ever the skeptic, is initially not interested, but becomes intrigued at the possibility of unveiling another fake, something he and Ms. Oliver seem to share and revel in.
I've seen a million of these so-called psychics, each one a fake.
I do not believe in psychics.
Come with me to a seance. Spot the con I can't.
They go to the party, which is spectacular. I thought the shadow puppets used to tell the history of the palazzo they are in was particularly effective. The after party has the usual murders. Poirot feels personally endangered and challenged, and of course there are the suspects, everyone. This is a murder mystery mixed with a ghost story where everyone is a suspect and Poirot seems to be in danger. Mr. Branagh's Poirot is everything we expect from him, impeccable in every way to the point of obsessiveness, but in this film he is challenged by aspects of the supernatural he cannot explain away. He has mastered portraying how Monsieur Poirot, a Frenchman, would speak the English language convincingly, and his mustache, let's just say, it's a hirsute masterpiece. Tina Fey's Ariadne has captured the 40s film noir Hepburn/Russell, as in Rosalind, machine gun monotone beautifully, which contributes to the genuineness of this character, and the fedora is the perfect topper. She is driven by literary ambition and willing to sacrifice everything, including friendships, for success. When Joyce Reynolds removes her masks and reveals Michelle Yeoh, it was a shock. Seeing Ms. Yeoh as someone with such an all-American name was a bit of an oxymoron, but her performance as in the medium with a message was genuine, intense, and satisfying. She is an actor who is finally breaking out of the stereotypes and being recognized for her unlimited abilities. Kelly Riley's Rowena Drake is fittingly mournful about the loss of her daughter and anxious regarding the seance, and captures the diva in the character. She appears rather young to be a retired opera singer, but as the story progresses, we understand her premature withdrawal from the boards. One of my favorite characters is 10-year-old Jude Hill, who plays Leopold Ferrier, the son of the doctor Leslie Ferrier, Jamie Dornan, who attended Rowena's daughter after her apparent suicide. Master Hill is the caretaker of his PTSD-afflicted father. He is the adult in the family, and he plays effectively far beyond his years. Of course, there has to be a housekeeper, and that job fell to Olga Semenoff, Camille Cotton, who plays an immigrant who was the only person who would keep house for Madame Drake in the notoriously haunted palazzo. She is, by her own admission, a terrible housekeeper, but because she is the only one willing to do the job, Madame Drake continues to employ her by default. One of the seemingly uninvited guests is Maxime Girard, Kyle Allen, the former lover of Alicia, the dead daughter of Madame Drake. He is like the fly in the souffle. Madame Drake holds him responsible for her daughter's death and cannot understand how he could have been invited to the seance, but he produces an invitation to which she acquiesces. The final two characters are Desdemona, Emma Laird, and Nicholas Holland, Ali Khan. Ms. Laird is Ms. Reynolds' assistant, and we learn Mr. Khan's Nicholas is a secret assistant thanks to the detective in Poirot. Mr. Branaghs, who not only stars but produced and directed this marvelous work of cinema, should be on the awards shortlist not only for the creation of this character, but also for his direction. This is a taut piece of complex storytelling done in style. Every shot is frameable. Not only are the characters perfect, but the choice of Venice as a location for Poirot's retirement gave the film another character. The place, not only the palazzo, but the city of Venice, contribute to the overall excellence of this film. If you have never been to Venice, this film will inspire a visit. And if you've been, it will require a return. Apparently, Mr. Branaghs conspired with the special effects people to unleash various mini-catastrophes without the actor's knowledge, thus the reactions the audience sees are real. I had several startled moments. Michael Green, who wrote Murder on the Orient Express and Death on the Nile, two previous Branaghs-Poirot films, is back. But unlike those films, which were rather faithfully based on the inspiration of the Agatha Christie books, A Haunting in Venice is not a story written by Agatha Christie. It is an adaptation of her 1969 book Halloween Party. The only characters from the book who are the same are Monsieur Poirot and Ms. Oliver. There are many other characters in the book who do not appear in the film, and almost all of the other characters in the film are named the same as in the book, but they bear no resemblance to the ones in the book. There is a children's party, but the book has more murders, more characters, no ghost story, nor medium, no retired opera star, and it takes place in London, not Venice. However, the story is every bit as intriguing and confounding as anything Ms. Christie wrote, and since her foundation has to approve everything, one may assume they have signed off. A word has to be said about the costumes by Sammy Differ. Poirot's chalk striped suit looks like he was born in it. It appears to be a part of him, like his skin. Her choice of a business look for the close-ups of Ariadne Oliver, especially the fedora, which I loved, and then a full skirt gives the character an unexpected silhouette. Putting the glasses on Leopold and dressing him in a suit on Halloween when all the others his age are in costume sets him apart from the children and gives him the adult stature the character needed. Kudos to the Emmy Award-winning production designer John Paul Kelly for creating the interiors of the Palazzo at Pinewood Studios in England and, according to Wikipedia, for one-third scale model of the building and its surrounding environment. The model was built with meticulous detail on an airfield in the English town of Reading. A Haunting in Venice is better than his previous two visits to Hercule Poirot. It is tight, tingling, and tantalizing, as well as a memorable story accompanied by luscious filmmaking. It is playing at the Maui Mall and Kihei Cinemas. It is the best film around for those who are devotees of good cinema. That's Curtain Call for this week. Next week, I'll be in the Bay Area to see my stepdaughter Juliette Green in Rent at South Bay Musical Theater in Saratoga. Then we are attending POTUS at Berkeley Rep, and on Sunday afternoon, we will be at the San Francisco Symphony's premiere performance of Wynton Marsalis's Harold, Holler, and Hallelujah. So, there won't be a show on October 2nd, but be sure to tune in when I return, because I'll be reviewing ProArt's Kimberly Akimbo and Mappa's Birthday Candles. I'm Paul James Brown. Maui strong. Ahui ho.